I think it needs to be said that there is a cohort, probably 10 to 15 to maybe even 20% of young people that actually want to work their ass off and actually want to make a lot of money early in their career. I know there's this narrative going around right now like, oh, anti-corporate, they're not loyal, and that may be true.
The generation don't want to work hard like we used to work. Well, you were able to work a full-time job as a postman, buy a house for 31k, and put a deposit down for 3k.
Younger people don't want to work hard. They don't want to work hard nowadays. No, I think they just don't want to be scammed.
It really bothers me when older people are like, oh, young people these days just don't want to work. Because I have to say, I feel like the boomer generation especially is absolutely obsessed with convenience.
All right, when you think of success, what is one of the first things that come to your mind? What do you think success takes? You probably thought hard work, right? That was probably one of the first things that came to your mind. Yeah, scratch all that shit, because hard work is not the key to success anymore. At least, that's what a guy on TikTok said. Now, when I first heard it, I didn't immediately agree, because of course, when I heard hard work, I thought of my mother. My mother is one of the hardest working people on this earth in my eyes, and my family. If you're around my age and I'm 19, you've definitely grown up watching a different version of that success that our parents did, or that hard work our parents went through. We watched influencers blow up overnight. We watched crypto millionaires appear out of thin fucking air. We watched people get rich for eating food, for starting a big drama, for dancing, or literally doing fucking nothing. Meanwhile, some dude is working 60 hours a week and he's still stressing over rent. So I can understand why my generation would look at hard work and go like, does this shit even matter anymore? But I don't think the answer is as simple as saying hard work doesn't work. I think we're asking the wrong question. I personally feel like to reach any level of success, there has to be some type of hard work in any way, shape, or form. I don't think hard work can or will disappear at any point in time. I just think that the definition of success has changed.
I think part of the reason that young people are losing their work ethic is because they've seen that working hard is no longer the key to success. Working hard is like a part of the equation, but they've seen that no amount of working hard is going to be more effective than being a scumbag. They've seen people climb the ranks. They've seen the people in charge of companies, in charge of the country, be horrible humans. And they just go, oh, that's what it is? That's what success is? It's just a game of like, who can be the biggest piece of garbage? Who is willing to exploit the most amount of people on this earth? That's who gets ahead in this society?
When our parents were younger, when your parents were younger, I don't want to put an age on people's parents. But yeah, man, when they were younger, they had something called the American dream. And I don't want to act like this had just been made when our parents were kids or just became a thing when our parents were children. This had been a popular phrase since 1931. But in the 1980s, the American dream was a central cultural and economic ideal. The belief that through hard work, determination, and initiative, anyone could achieve success, prosperity, and upward mobility. Usually when you think of American dream, you think of like somebody graduating, getting a home in the suburbs, raising a family in that house, then retiring. I know now that kind of seems like a fantasy to some people, but at some point it wasn't. It was actually reality. And you buy a house today, you damn near won the lottery. People literally celebrate finding an apartment that they can afford. No, like niggas throw parties. Like dead ass. Groceries cost way more than back then. Cars cost way more than back then. Insurance costs way more. Everything costs more. Even a fucking candy bar. What the fuck? Oh yeah, my candy bars used to be 50 cents. Man, shut the fuck up, nigga. Shut up. No, everything costs way more than what it did back then. And we hear that from our elders. And you can see the shit. So when these older generations tell the Gen Zs and tell the youngins to just work harder, a lot of young people here do twice the work for half the reward. And that's where the conversation starts, because from our perspective, it doesn't really look like the system rewards effort anymore. It looks like it rewards attention, connection, patience. Like, it rewards timing, luck, and honestly, sometimes it rewards being the loudest motherfucker in the damn room.
The average homeowner 20 years ago was probably in their late 20s, and now we're probably pushing 40 now for brand new homeowners. So, what does that do? How does that change our financial picture?
No, you're absolutely right. The average age is north of 36 now. When 20, 30 years ago, it was much younger. I bought my first home when we were, I think, 28 or 29. So it changes the picture. Some of that is the affordability issue, the fact that home prices are high and mortgage rates are high, and it's harder and harder for people to get into that first home. But I'm also hearing in my conversations that younger generations are delaying that purchase and deciding that that money that they might have put down to buy that home, that $100,000 or $250,000, depending on what they were trying to buy, might be better used for them at this point in their lives doing other things.
Okay, so this is some of the shit I disagree with the whole hard work doesn't matter argument. Because no matter what industry you get into, you're not gonna last or even get into it without some type of hard work. Even the influencers out there that everybody says got lucky, even they had to put in some type of hard work. Even they had to make 100 videos. Or if you're lazy, you had to put in 1,000 fucking Twitch comments before you got clicks' attention. Entrepreneurs, they still had to build something. The athletes out there, they still had to practice. Luck might open the door, but hard work is what lets you stay in the room. I think people confuse working hard with working a job. What changed is what hard work looks like. 20 years ago, hard work meant staying loyal to one company, slaving off to one company. Today, hard work might mean learning how to edit, learning how to start your own website, starting a business, investing in yourself, building a personal brand, learning a skill that nobody can take away from you. Mind you, you're still working hard. You're just not putting all that effort into somebody else's dream, aka a big corporation, company, or somebody's fucking business.
Buy that home, that $100,000 or $250,000, depending on what they're trying to buy, might be better used for them at this point in their lives doing other things. What are those other things? And I think this is something that came out of the pandemic, which is experiences. So people, younger couples, younger families are making the decision to say, I don't know if we want to sink ourselves into a 30-year obligation with this house and this mortgage. I think we want to live in Costa Rica for 2 years, and then maybe I want to go to Spain for a year. And so people are making that call. And with companies offering more remote work options for some people, that's what they're doing with that money. It means that they're freeing up the money that might have gone into the home and into that mortgage and that down payment, and they're deploying it other places, not just spending it, but also investing it. The fact that people aren't spending that money on that down payment at a younger age means they can actually invest more too and take advantage of that compounding over time, which will make them wealthier down the road or give them enough money within 3 to 5 years to make a bigger down payment on the home they might want.
I think one of the reasons that older generations think that young people don't work hard is because hard work looks very different than it used to. Hard work used to be like physical related. You had to like run around. You had to go to different locations. You had to meet with different people. You had to go pick up the kids from school. You had to go check in on your second family. You had to go to the post office. Now, all of those things are happening inside our brains at all times. And that is a very different type of hard work to have to keep up with. The burnout nowadays is coming from inside the house. So yes, it's less hard work physically. You're not stuck on a literal hamster wheel, but the hamster wheel is constantly happening 24/7 inside your own brain.
Now, do I blame Gen Z and the youngins for thinking like this? No, I do not. We've watched layoffs happen overnight. We've watched people work for years on end just to barely fucking survive. Then we've watched people become fucking millionaires, super popular personalities, all after one viral moment. So I think it's fair that people are questioning things. But I don't think the lesson is hard work doesn't matter. I think it's hard work by itself isn't enough anymore. Alongside of you working hard, you need timing, you need a skill, you need a little bit of luck, you need a door to be open, you need opportunity, and a little bit more luck. Success isn't free. I don't think success has ever been free. The price has just changed. Years ago, the price might have been your time.
Old people will work at the same job for 50 years and then complain about how young people don't want to work. Bitch, you won't quit. Like, what?
2026, the price might be your morals, your attention, your reputation. And some people are willing to pay that price. Others aren't. And that's fine. Personally, I'd rather take longer getting there than becoming somebody I don't even recognize to get there. Because if the success cost me my character, was it really success?
What's the cost? Because to truly be great at something, you have to kind of almost abandon everything.
I've seen that in various ways, like in that kind of just empirical personal study. I haven't seen anybody who I think like qualifies for that who didn't also seem to be really suffering.
100%.
You know, and you're like, damn, you should be so happy. You're the greatest. And the, interviewers always, how do you feel right now? And there's that sense that like either it's never finished or it's never enough or they can't enjoy it.
And like I've been saying, man, I don't think hard work is the key to success anymore. Maybe it was never the only key. Hard work still matters. You still gotta work hard. Don't be no lazy, sloppy fuck. Get out your bed. It's just that now hard work has to be paired with smart decisions, good timing, adaptability, and a little bit of luck. I don't think all of Gen Z is lazy. Some of us are definitely some lazy motherfuckers, and I wouldn't even want to call us lazy. We do be procrastinating sometimes, you know what I'm saying? But nah, on a real note, I don't think we're lazy, bruh. I think we're pretty realistic. We've seen enough now to know that the game isn't fair, but that doesn't mean we stop playing. It just means we stop believing the old rule book. The American dream might not look like what it did 40 years ago, 30 years ago, but that doesn't mean we can't build a new one for ourselves. It just gotta be on our own terms. Yeah, man, I think that's all I got for y'all in this video. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe on this motherfucker. We is on the road to 10,000 subscribers, man. If you guys could describe what y'all's personal American dream would look like, please let me know in the comments. I'm pretty curious to know what y'all's idealistic life would consist of and look like. I'm keeping y'all here too long. Like, subscribe on the fucking video, man. I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. Until then, deuces.